going? It's your boy King Queso, aka Mr. Sigmatical. Hey, I know it's been a long time and I've been under the weather, but let me see if I can get through this message and put myself together. I'm not a rapper. All right, I got a little bit of energy today. Update. I said I was going to be making these videos weekly. I messed up, guys. I fell short. And that's okay. There's a lesson learned in that. So where am I at in school? So I started the, what did he call it? The fall semester. I'm taking math. Math is like my second language. It might even be my first language. I think I speak math better than I do English. I am breezing through that class. I went and took my English 102 composition class, and that was a little bit of a problem. Not to say problem, but I had a lot of other things going on at the job. I had a lot of things going on with family. But thank God they have grace periods where you're able to hand in homework like maybe 2 to 3 days late without getting full and still get full credit. So I managed to get through that class, finish that class out. I got an A in that one. So I got an A in the first English. I never thought I would be an A student in English, but A in English, 101 and 102. Chemistry, I thought I was gonna get an A, but I ended up getting a B. And now I'm in math. 120, which is like a pre-calculus before the calculus. I took pre-calculus in 10th grade, but yeah, they make us take it again. So I'm probably gonna get an A in that. I'm almost certain, but that's where I'm at as far as my status. I have to actually talk to my counselors and see where I stand, because a lot of the credits from my other college 20 years ago transferred over. So I'm gonna give you an update on how far or how many years I got left or how many credits I need. But it's awesome. It's really good that every day I wake up that I have a goal and I have something that I'm proceeding towards, and I have something that eventually is going to help better my family, better me, and better my body, because work that I do is tasking on my body. But I look at everything positive. It gets me moving. It helps me exercise. But to the video, hey, CPR, beep, beep. That's a truck. That's not really the pulse. CPR, it's another acronym or another one of those things that I do. Like, what's your knack? When I do make videos, it seems like I'm always talking about the positive aspects of things, like what is really love and what's this and what's that. I got a bunch of videos lined up, but like I said, I've been busy and I've been lazy, and I'm sorry for that. But this is the video that I know that I've been thinking about it. I wanted to break it down to, and I wanted to see what your insight is on what I'm about to talk about. So let's get right into it. CPR. These are words that I live by when I talk to my mom, when I used to talk to my dad, when I talk to family, when I talk to strangers, when I talk to just about everybody on this earth. But I know for certain that I can be lackadaisical with using these terms that I'm about to talk about in regular day-to-day life. But when I'm having a discussion, like I'm having a problem with somebody, if there is like this thing that has to be addressed, I definitely feel like I use this CPR method, and I think that everybody on this earth should. If they're not doing it, you may be doing this already, but I want you to emphasize it when you do it with people and watch what it does as far as the feedback and what you get from the energy of a room. I believe that I am in control of everything that I do, everything that is around me. I do not let my environment control me. I control my environment. I know it's those sayings that people like to make all the time, but I believe they are real. They are real. So, CPR. You get into a discussion at your job or a manager. I'm going to talk about more or less relationships with your girlfriend or your wife. But if you watch how you act, and then watch the reaction you get from people, this would be a good indicator of how congruent or on the same page you and your significant other might be, or the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. I don't know. But let's go into the first word. Can anybody guess what the C stands for in CPR? I took the CPR because CPR is what you perform when you want to breathe life back into something. There's an emergency. There's something at stake. There's something that has to be addressed. There's some blockage of some sort. It's basically a disagreement that you have with another person. So one of the things that I try to do every time I speak, my wife can attest to this. Anybody that knows me can attest to this, and we're going to break it down. The first word, C, is clarity. What is clarity? Clarity is the quality of being easily seen or heard. I think this is like one of the biggest problems that I think that people have when they're discussing or getting into any type of disagreement with their spouse or significant other, or anybody that means something important to them. Everybody wants to have this like nostalgia of being mysterious and hard to understand. And if I'm hard to understand, that means I'm able to run circles around you. No. When you love somebody, when you care about someone, when you're having a discussion, every time I talk to my wife or I talk to anybody that I love or care about, my only goal is to get to a place where we both agree on something or compromise or to some type of resolution. So in any situation, we tend to do this more at our job, but we need to do this more with our spouses and our friends and our family. My job is to be easily seen and heard. So if I had a disagreement with my wife about something, well, I have a wife now. So there's none of that other stuff, but I'm applying to y'all too. And to my sons, like I said, this message always applies to them. If you have a disagreement with someone or something, the goal is to be seen clearly and to be heard clearly. And to even double check to make sure that everything you do, there's no sudden movements, there's no words that could stand for something else, that could mean something else. When you know the person that you're talking to, and you know kind of what you're like when you're involved with whoever you're having a disagreement with, you know what words touch certain places, what one word might mean here, might not mean there. Be clear in how you talk when you talk to somebody. I feel like this is like the foundation of the CPR, of breathing life back into a situation, or just bringing the emergency to a point, stabilizing something that is dying or something that needs your urgent attention. I make sure I don't use words that I know hurt the person that I'm talking to. I make sure that I'm slow to speak. I make sure that I understand what the other person is saying before I respond. What did they say? You're listening to speak as far as listening to respond. There's a way there's a saying that people use, like when you're having a discussion. When I have a discussion with somebody, I literally try to look deep into their soul, like I'm looking deep into that camera right now. And my whole goal is to say, do I fully understand what that person is trying to say to me or what they're trying to imply? Because I want my next statement to be somewhat as feedback or I want to continue the conversation further down the road that we can come to an agreement, or we can come to some type of conclusion. My goal isn't trying to make you see my point and that's it, because I believe since it's my point, that means that I'm right. I am never right in anything as far as any topic, because I only see things. We tend to only look at things, especially when we're angry, especially when we're emotional from the point of where we feel and what we think is right. So when you talk to somebody, clarity means easily seen, easily heard. If you can tell the person that you're dealing with that when they're looking at you, it just seems like they have this complex look, or it seems like, hey, you might speak to them and they might still continue their agenda when they're speaking. Like, wait. What I was trying to do or say just now, the response that I was looking for was slightly off. Let me go back and make sure that what I said, you clearly understand what I was trying to say. Or what did you hear? I know some people might feel like, my wife likes to say that, oh my God, you treat me like a child, but in my clarity, in my agenda to be completely clear, I want to make sure that what I said and what you heard are parallel and on the same page. So that means once we understand this, we can get to the next page. So all things you do when you're having a discussion, all things you do when you're having any type of problem or any type of explanation to somebody. Whenever there's something where somebody's on this level, and whenever there are two people or more than one parties that are involved, where there are two different understandings and two different levels, even if you know more than the other person, your goal is to provide clarity, because the goal is to get here. A lot of people like to leave people here and here, or you leave a situation where you definitely don't want to be the person at the bottom, but the person at the top is like, yeah, I'm smarter than this person's a dumb, whatever. But whenever I talk to somebody, my goal is to, hey, is to connect. Because the last thing I want to do is leave you thinking that I'm better than you, or you're better than me, or I'm way above you. Like, my goal is to meet people. I think, well, one of the things that my father liked to do, and my father had a high school education, but he could talk to the college professor, he could talk to the crackhead on the street. He could relate to everybody, because in everything that he did, when he talked to somebody, his goal was always to be clear. So provide clarity when you speak, especially when you're in a disagreement or you're discussing something when two parties aren't on the same page, where you have to provide some type of emergent care to get everything stable again. All right. And when you do this, these are things that you should be looking for as a result of you providing clarity. I didn't think I was going to actually get a definition for this, but it actually, this website has noun phrases, but I was like, oh man, peace of mind, man. The whole goal of discussing, the whole goal of trying to bring somebody down when you're arguing, two different parties are not on the same page, to provide some level of peace of mind. The feeling of being safe or protected is something that I can't talk about enough. A lot of people, and I know you can relate to what I'm about to say. Have you ever argued with somebody where you know what you're trying to provide to them is generally the right answer? Like I want you on this side. I believe you can benefit greatly if I can get you to understand exactly what I'm saying. But if they don't feel safe, if they don't feel protected, if they think that you have a separate agenda, if they think you're biased, if they think any of that, even if it is beneficial to them, you find it hard to get that person to come to your side. And if not necessarily come to your side, just see what I'm trying to say or see where I'm coming from. Peace of mind should be on the forefront of every time you speak to somebody when two parties do not disagree. When I speak to my wife, when I speak to people that maybe not are clear on what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to make them feel safe. My whole energy that I exude when I talk to people, I want people to feel safe. Like, there's always this stigma, there's always this stereotype about anything. You have to go into every situation knowing that even if I do everything right, I still can be looked at as wrong. You have to provide some type of safety. You have to provide some type of protection. Your tone has to change with certain people. Your demeanor has to change with certain people. Some people don't even like the bubble. Like, give me my space when you talk to me. Everybody knows how to come off aggressive. Everybody knows, like, I can come straight and get up really on the camera. Like, be like, oh, even right now, you might have been like, hey. Like, if I came in with just like, when I spoke to you, you would be like, yo, man, get back. What's all this about? Like, there's a demeanor, there's a way of speaking, there's a way of handling yourself to where even when we're talking about something that I know is a touchy subject, I want you to know that whatever I'm saying to you, whatever I'm trying to provide to you or trying to explain to you so that you can get an understanding that I have, or even when I'm trying to gain an understanding from you, I want you to feel safe and feel protected. Let's say you're on the bottom. Let's say we're on these levels and you're the one that's trying to learn something from the person because you're not aware. Even when you're trying to learn something, I have people like, yeah. So tell me what that's about. Or what are you trying to say? Are you sure? Yeah, I like. I don't feel safe explaining something to you. I don't feel in a certain level of protected. And as men, we're supposed to be providers. We're supposed to be protectors. One of the age-old things of being a man. So in your speech, I find it weird that when I see people, like when I see a man talking to a woman and they're disagreeing, right? A woman might be able to get loud with you and try to exude some type of, I mean business. But there's nothing like seeing, and you see it, talk to a man, and I've seen people just walk and look the other way and been like, come on, man. I mean, you need to take every threat seriously, but there's nothing like a masculine man getting extremely loud with a woman. It's just like, yeah. you know there's something wrong there, right? Like, can you relate to what I'm saying? Like, even when you know you're right, even when you know this person made me angry, this person deserves what I'm trying to give them because they did whatever blah blah to me, man, CPR. My goal when I talk to you is to provide some type of safety. Even if I know you're aiming to hurt me, I'm gonna provide safety. And when I talk, when I speak, when I make things clear to you, I just want you to feel protected. That feeling, that energy that you provide to that person, that warmth that I provide, that I strive to provide when I talk to my wife, it doesn't push the person away. Even when they don't want it. It brings them in. So in the process of being in your conversation, be clear, provide clarity. I want you to know exactly where I'm saying, exactly what I'm feeling. I got no mystery to me. And through that, my tone is welcoming. I'm not using harsh words. I'm not using words that ignite the fire. All I'm doing is bringing a fire extinguisher to I'm putting this fire out when I talk because it's too hot in here. Or I'm providing this blockage. You can't breathe. I'm providing CPR so that you can breathe, so I can breathe life into the situation again. Because right now, this situation is dying, whether it be a relationship, whether it be some type of educational seminar. Like, my goal is always keep the connection flow. Ever seen a garden hose when you bend it? The water is still coming from the other end, but you can't see the water coming out the end. It's building up pressure. And pressure, what they say, pressure busts pipes. The last thing you want in a relationship, as sensitive as it may be, is to be unclear, to provide anarchy and chaos, and then bend the hose. All you're doing is going to bust pipes. Bust pipes means hurt relationships, hurt feelings, hurt emotions. And then you take that cancer, you take that crap to the next relationship. Man, it's just it's not worth it. Emotionally, you might think I'm getting my get back. But all you're doing is creating more drama and more chaos. If you're a man of peace, which is what I strive to be, like, actually in the Bible, my name Jeremiah meant peacemaker. My dad and mom gave me the name. I think my grandpa gave me that name, but the name was given to me for a reason. I really enjoy and like to sit and embrace peace. If it ain't about peace, I don't really want to be a part of it. But anyway, clarity, peace of mind. And what are we going to provide at the end? What's R? Results. When I talk to somebody, right? Or when I befriend or when I'm discussing anything with anyone, my goal is to get results. I need a conclusion. I need a beneficial or tangible effect. Something obtained by calculation or investigation. Like, I'm a mathematical mind. I'm very logical. The last thing I want to do is argue or discuss something with somebody. You ever gotten into an argument for an hour or two, or if you're just going back and forth, and then you look back and be like, hey, what were we arguing about? That right there is a pet peeve, because that means I did not get a result. There's no result. That means we just wasted time. That means we just shouted both at our lungs. That means we just provided chaos to each other, and we're left worse than when we came in. My goal in everything that I do is that the effort that I put in, the energy I put into any situation, any person on this earth, I need a result that pushes me further down the road as far as the goal that I was planning to reach. Every time I talk to my wife, anytime I talk to one of my friends, anytime I play a video game, my goal is to progress further down the road. If I don't see progression, if I see stagnation, if that's a word, if it's not Webster, go give me a call. Anything stagnant, you've heard, when water is stagnant, what happens? Bacteria produces filth, nastiness. When I talk to, especially when we're discussing something and it's controversial and it's on both sides, my goal is to get a result. Hey. I walk into every situation like, okay, what do I want to gain here? I remember back in the day before me and my wife was married, it seemed like when we were arguing, I was providing, granted, I was doing most of the stuff that provided the argument. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. I used to state to my wife, not knowing that I was providing CPR without doing it. Hey, look, when my girlfriend at the time, hey, look, when we talk, my goal is not to split up with you. I want to stay with you. I just want to discuss this matter and get this over with. I put all my cards on the table. I make myself transparent because I want that person to know that whatever words that come after what I'm about to say, it's only one plan. There's only one agenda. My agenda is to stay with you, but just I need to get, in order to stay together and be happy, I need to get this resolution resolved. Now check this out. Now some of you might be looking at me and somebody be like, "Hey, what I'm about to go and do that for? Why I'm going to tell this person where I'm coming from and exactly what I want?" Hey, there's two things going on right there. You may not feel safe or protected because that person isn't providing you with the peace of mind to be completely honest, or you might be afraid of the results. And if you're afraid of what the person might do if they know your intentions, I got news for you. You want to hear it? Do you really want to hear what I got to say? If you are afraid of what that person might say, if you be completely honest with them and let them know your intentions and what you're about, probably the person you're supposed to. Or probably you haven't. There is a disconnect, there is a blockage that needs to be addressed, because not being completely honest with your significant other is a sign of trouble. So you go into a discussion. I'm wrapping up. I might have made this longer than it had to be, but hey, it's been a while. Come on this ride with me. Talk to somebody. I'm clear. Let them know exactly what I want from the person. Provide peace of mind. I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel protected when I speak. My conversations and my discussions with my wife and with people tend to be very simple and tend to be very short. Remember one time and I don't know what we were talking about exactly, but my wife was mad at me and she came to me with something and she told me, "Hey, this is a problem and we need to address it." No, you're right. It is a problem. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. And it wasn't one of those things where I was trying to, shuck and jive and just get the conversation over with. It was like, I thought about it. She was clear. I want her to feel safe and protected. I obviously don't want her to feel the way that it felt when it had to be done. The results are I'm going to change. And I'm not going to do that. And she looked at me and she was like, "Man, I kind of thought we were going to have to argue about this." I'm like, I don't argue about sense, especially when it's common. Like, I really feel like I say it in some of my videos. I even say it in life, and people that speak to me, like, relationships are easy. It's the people that are complicated. Because everything about relationships and doing things with another person and having a helping hand, having two minds, two brains, 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 hearts, double of everything, double the income, double the assistance, double the energy. All of that's supposed to make everything easier. It's only people that make things complicated. The actual idea of doing something with another person to accomplish one goal, teaming up, has always been positive. It's always been less work for the other person. You want to do these things. But hey, what are you doing when you talk to somebody? Are you providing clarity? Pointing in the wrong direction. Are you being clear? Are you providing a peace of mind, state of being when they talk? Because you get the truth when you talk to somebody with peace of mind. And at the end of the day, what you were looking for. You should go in there with results, but what are the results from after this conversation, after this discussion, after this encounter? Whether it be positive, negative, whether it be just talking. Anytime I talk to somebody, I want to walk away with something. Hey, I learned something. That should be your goal. If you have any questions or you have any concerns, anything you want to put into the comment section, this is going on TikTok, this is going on YouTube. Hey, man, feel free, man. The video is a little long, but people tend to like to talk and hear people about something, especially if they find it intriguing or find it important. And I really like doing this. I'm gonna get back on my grind. I kind of got swayed because I wanted to get more involved with the skits before a lesson. But my boys don't necessarily see the vision that like I see it. And my little son sees it as work. So I'm gonna grab him whenever I can. But I got a little dismayed by that. But I'm back on point. CPR, clarity, peace of mind, results What are you doing? What are you providing? Are you breathing life back into your relationships, into your situations? That's all for today. I'm gonna check you guys later. Feel free to subscribe, comment. Catch you guys later.